And welcome to Master Manual, a practical guide for DMs, GMs, and just wanna BMs and other folks too. This is a podcast where we answer questions and talk about role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, mostly from a dungeon master's perspective. Hopefully other people can enjoy it. My name is Spencer Crittenden, and I am sitting here with my friend.
Hey, I'm Cohen Edenfield.
That's the person.
You said Dungeon Master this time instead of DM.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna bother.
Let's bleep
23% of the people.
We're gonna bleep that.
If you're listening and that bothered you, I want you to know that you're my friend.
We're gonna bleep. Yeah. If you're upset by whatever was bleeped.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be crystal clear persuasion.
I guess what you're saying won't work unless we don't bleep it. So,
yep.
Okay.
I did that thing where it has to get left in because I made a whole bit out of it.
I like that though because it makes it easy.
Pretty generous definition of bit, I guess.
That counts. I mean, they're just the smallest thing. That's why it's a bit. What have you been up to, huh?
I brought pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh shit!
You're
moving up.
I played a little bit more Spider-Man. It was Kate's birthday, so I haven't played much of other things because I was too busy dungeon mastering the perfect birthday.
Right. Parties are the ultimate dungeon.
Yeah. We had a party, and the theme was Careful Bump Night because it was from Kate's work. There were some signs that said, "Be careful of things that go bump in the night," but they left off the "be," "of," and "things that go."
What?
And so it just said Careful Bump Night. And so the people came and they had safety themed stuff. Like our friend May was child safety Loch Ness monster. She had a lock around her neck, and then she has a Loch Ness monster sweater that ended in like a monster hand. That was a really good one.
Yeah, I used to be all like, parties, why they gotta be all these themes in a party? Can't you just be partying? But like at the same time, like, you know, you had a theme to a party, and then it gives people a direction to go in. You know,
gives them a direction to go in, gives you something to talk about at the party,
right?
Much like in Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly.
It's all about the setting.
And if only we were to be doing a podcast about such a subject, that would be fortuitous.
But we don't live in the best of all possible worlds.
Yeah. So that was your weekend then. What about mine?
Well, yeah. What'd you do?
No, I just today. I mean, this isn't even good
Mega Man?
podcast stuff. No, a tiny bit. But I just remembered Kate's birthday today when I was trying to pick you up.
Oh yeah.
I felt bad.
No. Like when I invited, I knew that like you were like, how many people? I was like around 15. You were like, that's around my limit. But then a lot more than that came, and like as soon as I knew that, I was like, I'm not gonna bother. Like I knew that a few days out, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna bother Spencer with this because
that's cool.
No, I need. I feel like friendship. Part of friendship is knowing how to be friends with people, and not making
I think
one
that's
kind
a
of
lot of friendship.
Yeah, okay, but it means
like
knowing it's not. You're not like trying to turn every one of your friends into the same kind of person.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good. I think there's a community episode about that.
Oh.
I don't know.
I
think it's fair.
We're not talking about community.
I meant in a good way.
Oh, okay. You're right. I am
like
just as good as community.
Your life is brilliant storytelling.
It is.
I don't know.
It is.
Yeah. So I've just been I was scrambling to put together a campaign for Potato Quest ever since last episode, and we didn't play. So I was woefully unprepared because I've been very busy because it's now been announced HarmonQuest is coming back. So I've been working on it. Yeah. It's been busy, so
congratulations.
Thank you. It's exciting. I've been working on that. It's been a lot of work and a nightmare, and I can't wait until we finish shooting. And we shoot in November. Go to harmonquest.com if you want to see if there's tickets. I think we will be shooting a week from people listening to this.
Okay, so get in there. Maybe we tweet about those tickets.
Yeah, we definitely will have to.
Can you get me in?
Yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah.
So try and get a ticket.
Can you get Kate in also? She wanted to see it.
Well, I'll see.
Okay.
See what I can do.
Thanks.
No, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so it would be great if you could come to that. It's almost certainly too late. You might be able to get in the reserve ticket line, but whatever. We're going to tweet about this early.
You know who's going to know about it even before the people we tweet to?
No.
The folks in our Discord.
Oh, yeah. They already know about it. And we're currently 5 weeks ahead of the present listener, at least.
Yeah, but you can scroll back.
that you could scroll all the way back. Oh, hours of podcast discussion await you. Go to the Discord. The links are places.
It is a vibrant and exciting community.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking about how vibrant and exciting they were.
I'm glad that you were thinking about that and then I articulated it.
Yeah.
That's exactly the kind of rope-a-dope conversational boxing, shadow boxing that makes us such excellent Discord conversationalists.
And it also makes us, excellent podcasters, I'd hope.
All right, let's dive into it. We ran long last week.
Yeah. Did we? Yeah.
Maybe. All right. Helga Cruciform.
We did. All right.
Let's do it.
Let's play some Helga Cruciform. I'm going to try and do this music. Let's see how consistent we can make this, huh?
God is dead. No more God.
Is that your first?
No more God is dead. No more God. You know what? Seymour. Norman God.
Seymour No God.
Seymour No God. Oh, that's very good. Okay.
No, it's not.
Kahlua Hercules.
Half-wing Beverly.
Half-wing Duck.
Okay.
Darkwing Beverly.
Okay. Duckwing Beverly. Lupus Double Flick.
Hell Dog O'Houlihan. He's a hell dog.
Yeah. Vass Referens.
It's absurd.
That's good, right? I mean, I shouldn't ever say that.
George R.R. Harlequin.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Branson Dureese.
Oh, that's good. Jackoff Smirnov. There's not a good joke.
Wellmon Bowrings.
Oh.
That's just like boring. Whatever. It sounds more French that way.
French Hitler.
German Johnson.
German Johnson?
Yeah.
Jermaine Champagne.
Rudy Renegade. Is that something?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No.
I
should never ask if anything's good.
I'll die. I know. Let me die for Rudy Renegade.
It's a trap that I'm setting, but I'm the one who's stepping into it.
Hawaiian Punch.
Oh yeah. Thrifty McRift.
Let's go to the
Oh,
the phones.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you checking out the Twitter?
Oh yeah. Let's see. From Inter Miami fan account, we have Ivan Canoe. We also have Arkham Toebeltrop from Moscanero 18. Lucas gives us Wilf Dalmore, Kinbear Featherhand, and Besmer Basader. Very good.
All right.
Faulkner Shatterstick from James Thornton. That's really good.
On the Discord, we got Blueberry is saying Trapezius Laryngitis, the Necromancer.
Pretty good.
Modston says Kool-Aid Brunson, the Alchemist Eater. BDB says Schaefer Guttersnipe, and Jimble says Ferdinand Tepes.
Did you say that's from the Discord?
The Discord.
Is that vibrant community I was talking about?
I would say it's not only vibrant, but exciting as well.
Oh, wow. I love when things are both exciting and vibrant.
But I do want to say that it is being gentrified, so I'm sure...
Get in on the ground floor.
Yeah, you gotta. Otherwise, it's get in on the ground floor so you can see it deteriorate and complain about it.
Yeah. you got to enjoy the community before we stratify it with our Patreon tiers.
Yeah. We're gonna cry. We're gonna make Patreon cry.
Yeah, we're gonna make a special. We're also gonna make a special audio channel where there's one. It's called Spencer Weeps, and it's just a live stream of Spencer crying. And then there's one called Cohen Tears, that is just me crying. And then there's bro sobs, and that's us crying together.
I think what we should do is make an automatic voice channel that's just eternal screaming, and everyone has to be on it. And if they join the Patreon, they can leave.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I like it. Kind of an opt out.
That could be good. Yeah.
Punishment.
So that was Helga Cruciform.
All right, let us know who you thought won.
Yeah, man. Let us know who you think won. Or if You think that? Well, let us know if the listeners beat us. How about? I don't know, or just anything. Just talk to us. We're lonely,
please. We made this to meet people, and it hasn't. So far, we've met each other.
Yeah, I made this to get laid. So, so far proceeding on the pace I expected.
No dice.
You got plenty of dice, my man.
I was thinking that could be a fun catchphrase to introduce into the show. It's when something is bad, I go, no dice. What do you think?
I think we got to figure out how to deploy that, because without
early
proper
and
guidance,
often,
it's a bad idea, but it is a good idea. That's the trick. Like, I think it's really funny, but we have to know how to deploy it.
No dice.
No dice. No. See, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. What are we up to now?
All right.
I'm going to
answer a question right now.
All right. Yeah, let's establish our bona fides.
This one's coming from the Instagram DM. So.
Ooh. Somebody's sliding in your DMs?
More or less.
Slicking wet like a baby seal.
That question.
That was horrible, what I just said.
Why?
It's okay.
We'll cut it out.
No, leave it in. People need to know what I've done.
Jake by Jake asks, I am starting a homebrew Pathfinder campaign, but I only have 2 players. Any tips on encounter balance would be great. I'm worried such a small party would be really easy to TPK. Thanks for your time.
Is there anything about Pathfinder that's going to make this demonstrably different from 5th edition?
Pathfinder is harder challenge rating wise than D&D. So Pathfinder very, very similar to D&D 3.5, which is pretty similar to 4th edition and 5th edition. I guess more similar to 5th edition, but pretty similar. The rules are pretty overlapping. I guess the skills have changed a lot, huh? But most of the
I have no
you don't know.
So to summarize,
it's harder.
Jake Dog. His question is, he's doing a 2-person campaign.
2-man campaign.
Is there any way to not kill them?
Yeah.
I would say don't. Step 1.
Don't kill them?
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't kill them. So
use stats for slightly weaker monsters than the ones you're actually using.
Here's the classic. Are you
stuck in a loop?
Here's the classic.
You have to finish the
classic. Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
That's
I have
fine.
a weird sense of humor that I don't expect others to share, but it is for me.
No, I was just playing the straight man.
And as you all know, this podcast is released primarily for my enjoyment.
It's I think we both listen to it more than anyone else does.
Yeah, that's true. So,
God, I hope so. Jesus.
Yeah.
I really hope nobody has listened to this more than we have.
Oh no, I hope that people are fans of it and love it. Are more obsessed with it. I just
hope they
us.
do it on a healthy thing where they haven't listened to the first episode 10 times.
Yeah, that doesn't sound healthy when you put it that way. Here's the classic. The DM PC. This is a character that the DM pilots often for the sake of ease of play. So that can mean to provide a voice guiding light for the players. Oftentimes it could just mean an extra body in combat. So if the problem is there's not enough people in combat, add people to combat. So you could do that if that functions for the story. So
there's a couple of different ways to do this, is my understanding. One is they're basically just another player,
right,
who is played by the DM. This seems hard to do right to me because I read an interesting. I've read about this concept a lot. I've never actually. No, I had a DM who did it, but they did it a different way.
Also, NPCs are DM PCs, so depending on how you do it,
DM's PC is specifically essentially an extra member of the party who stays. But I think the advice that I've sort of gathered is don't take center stage with this character.
Yeah, which that seems like why would you even have to tell people that?
Because people
what
do
the
it.
Fuck is wrong with you?
They do it.
But yeah, definitely don't. They can't be cool. I mean, they could be cool, but it can't be their job to be cool because the game is about the players being cool. And the players can't be overshadowed by the person running the game for the players.
Yeah. Now, there's another way to do this. And that way is to have there's another kind of DMPC that's more like a guest star. And that's sort of your Tylenol with codeine style. Or like the classic example is Gandalf in The Hobbit, because he shows up at like the hour. It's like when things go really bad for the dwarves, Gandalf will show up. But when
Right.
things are going kind of okay, he'll just peace out.
Mm.
It's like, oh, you're going into Mirkwood. How do we escalate the stakes? Gandalf's not coming. It's like, well, Gandalf's leaving again.
Right.
And then he shows up, in the greatest need. He casts a spell. He fights one guy.
Right. And it doesn't need to be one character even. It can be multiple NPCs
No,
as the
it has to be one. It has to be named Gandalf.
like, so maybe on one quest it's like, here's a guard, and it's like, yeah, the guard's helping, he doesn't got shit to do, and then in another it's a knight or something. But it can be the same character, but it doesn't have. The point is, for that, you're adding a body to combat to change the math. Now, if you don't want to,
I was just gonna say, you can do really, if you have, it's an opportunity to do interesting things that you don't see a lot, because you wouldn't base a character around them. Like, I had a character that I had as a sort of a DMPC that I threw in, or I guess just an NPC.
Right, that's the thing.
It was it's a little boy in an oversized soldier's helmet, and he had a bag of tricks, and he would throw out bag of tricks. If you don't know, it's a little bag, and 6 times a day you can pull out a
Fuzzy ball,
and you throw it, and you roll a die, and depending on what the die comes up, it turns into like a rat or a cat
a
or maybe
summon creature,
or maybe a bear.
Yeah,
and it's fun. It's like a little bag of random Pokeballs.
it really is. Also, try using Pokemon instead of normal summon monsters.
Yeah, no,
that sounds cool.
I'm gonna base an entire I'm basing an entire thing eventually on Pokemon, because there's a thing in the player's guide or maybe in the DMG where it's just like different elemental stones that you can use to summon things, and it's like, that's a Pokeball.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Pokemon's badass,
isn't it?
Yeah, but so for Pathfinder, you could start them higher level. That gives them more HP. You could also just give them some more HP. You could give them max HP or something instead of having them roll for HP. Because HP is a huge amount of early game balance. Is just not being able to take more than like one punch.
It's why the first 2 levels are the deadliest
Right.
in D&D 5th edition, is because you can easily get critical just killed.
Mm-hmm.
A gnoll gets a critical and hits you for 15 damage. If you're a wizard with 10 hit points,
Nothing to do.
You're dead.
You're done. So that's just, and also that's part of that stage of the game too. So if you want to get past that, start higher level is another option.
Level 3 is a great place to start for 5th edition.
Yeah.
I know this is a Pathfinder question, but
right.
I wanted to talk.
It's overlap. It's very similar. It's true that they're not the same game, but they're very similar, and I think of them as the same game because they're so similar. But they truly have a lot of differences in the rules. Don't get me wrong. But what else? You could just one thing I do is just add blanket modifiers. So it's like, oh, this looks a bit hard, so I'll just put a -2 on all of his rolls. And so, see how that goes. You can just kind of mess with numbers and see how it affects if they start hitting too hard and make the enemy run away or something.
Yeah, or just they die.
Yeah, they die.
Yeah. That's the point of the screen, is like, if they're doing really bad but you wanted them to win, just looks like he had 25 less health than it seemed like.
That's one of the biggest. I do that on Harmontown all the time. We don't really play so much anymore, but that was one of the biggest things I do, is just subtract health points from the monster, just because it's like, this fight is taking too long. I'm bored of it. This fight's over.
Yeah. Because if you're bored, they're probably bored.
Well, yeah, not in 100% of the case, but that definitely can be true. But what else? There's the math. I think that's just about all the ways you can make it easier, right? Or address the difficulty.
And just, be careful.
Yeah.
And if they do lose, well, they can have gotten captured and used for a sacrifice instead of actually outright killed.
Right. And you can always save your game.
Yeah.
Before you try it.
Yeah, encourage them to save often.
Right.
Okay.
Master Manual, we always encourage people to save often and early.
Mm-hmm. Save early, save often.
Yeah, man. Does that mean it's time to get into our segment?
Oh, yeah. Which segment is that?
What segment is that?
I believe it is a Loot Table or Brute Fable.
That is the segment it is.
Yes, I can't believe I guessed right.
Do you know what the segment is?
It's Loot Table or Brute Fable, baby.
Yeah, it's a segment where we make stuff up based on random things that happen. We're going to roll a dice, which is a random thing, and pull a random tarot card, make shit up.
All right, I'm going first this time.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, fuck.
Do you have the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the thing we need?
Mhm.
Okay.
He's rolling, folks. He
got
rolled
2.
a monster-ass monster.
A monster-ass monster.
Like a displacer beast or some shit.
Oh, nice. And the card I drew, I used the Golden Tarot app.
Golden
of course.
Thread Tarot app.
Golden Thread Tarot app, yeah. I drew the moon.
Fuck.
Unconscious illusions and intuition. Night is the time when dreams and fantasies rule. The moon also represents instincts that we have burned in our own unconscious. They come out to play in the moonlight, but the reflections that we see springing forth can also be illusions. It is easy to lose your way in the dark. This is a very famous card. It's a good one. Okay, the monster is it's a moon. It's the moon, but it's spelled M-U with an umlaut and then lowercase n.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This
It's-
is a No, sorry. I responded naturally and then thought it sounded really weird and had to make fun of it.
It's pretty good.
But no, you're doing great.
Okay, it's a disc-shaped glowing monster, a rock elemental. It's very thin. It's about the size of a pizza,
Mm-hmm.
and it floats in front of where the moon is.
Right.
And it's kind of translucent. And it waits for you to go to sleep, and it just keeps getting closer. But it gets smaller
Mm-hmm.
until it's like right in front of your face, but you can't see it
Mhm.
because it's keeping the perspective.
Yeah, it just still looks like the moon.
And then when it gets about a foot or two in front of you, it expands back up to its normal size and then covers your face.
Oh, yeah, and it just like drops on your head.
Yeah, it just tries to suffocate you.
Yeah.
But it really works. It goes after people who are staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you look away, it won't get you.
It's like a boo, but opposite.
Yeah, like so if you stare at the moon too long, there might be a thing floating directly towards you that's about to suffocate you, and you don't realize it.
It's got like fascination or whatever to keep you transfixed.
Oh yeah. You got to make a will save.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not trying to force it, but I'm exploring it. I'm having a great time.
So like the way you would deploy this is like tell your players like there's something interesting about the moon.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm looking at it, and you're like, okay. And you just maybe you give them like I don't know, you just roll to see how long they're looking at it.
Yeah.
Or they just keep telling you they're looking at it, and if they just keep doing it, then they
Jumps
get
on your
attacked
face.
by this moon monster. Yeah.
I dig it. That's awesome. I mean, I think what is it in Harry Potter? What's his face? Lupin, right?
Yeah.
Not Lupin. No, it is Lupin.
It's Lupin.
Lupin the Third. He rests the Bogart back into the case, and it's a moon.
Yeah,
Just
because he's a werewolf.
Yeah, but the idea of like just this like a beach ball sized moon that's just floating around, like that seems fucking ominous as hell.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like Jesus Christ, it's the moon, but it's small. Like, what's it trying to pull?
It also happened on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah,
Remember they would do that?
yeah.
Vegeta would like
Vegeta
summon
made
a
a
false
little moon, right? Yeah.
They did it exactly one time.
Class. There's a lot. Yeah. DBZ. Oh.
And then somebody blow up the moon?
Yeah. Piccolo did.
That's
He went,
crazy that
boom.
happened.
Yeah. Did they get it back? Is
yeah,
it gone now?
Kami brought it back.
Okay. There you go. All's well that ends well.
Yeah, I guess so.
What am I gonna roll then? Or are you done?
Oh yeah, no.
You gave it the name, right? Moon. The moon.
The moon, but it's spelled M umlaut N.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's time for your card. But you got to roll.
Hell yeah.
Here's
I'm
the
gonna.
die.
Oh god, I threw it off the table twice. That was a 3. I'm gonna count that.
No dice.
Do you want me to re-roll it?
Yep.
All right, I'm re-rolling it.
Especially because we keep getting 3s.
1.
Yay!
That's a human ass monster NPC kind of deal.
Ooh, now give me just a moment to get another card.
Nope, it's been too long, and that's the end of the segment.
No, we need to do it. Ooh, you got the Ace of Wands.
Wands.
Creation, willpower, inspiration, and desire.
Mhm.
The suit of wands is always the first step in the act of creation. It is the burning fire of intention, desire, and passion that ignites the spark of an idea. Thus, this card represents the powerful forces of your will guiding your way like a torch into the world on a journey to make these desires come to reality.
All right, so this is like, it looks like a leprechaun, but it's actually like a fake demon leprechaun. So it would like kill leprechauns, but also it just hangs out in leprechaun places, so that it runs away, but it's fat and it's dressed differently, and also it's like it has more gold and fat kind of characteristics than a leprechaun. And when you catch it, it's like, yeah, I'll grant you wishes, whatever. And then you're like, yeah, I want to wish, and then it just uses that power to like own you. It's like when you engage with the wish, it's like a demonic pact, and so it can like kill your family in part of the wish or something.
Spencer, I have bad news.
Mm-hmm.
You're describing the film Leprechaun starring Jennifer Aniston.
That's fine, right?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
So it's Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, in fact, I think the title of this is Leprechaun of this monster is Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston.
Right, but leprechauns are a monster. Well, I guess this is animals.
You're kind of describing exactly a leprechaun.
But leprechauns don't grant wishes.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, they grant you a wish, or they give you the gold.
Okay, so that's leprechauns.
Also, like them darkly turning the wish on you. That is like the main thing a leprechaun does.
Who is wishing at a wet leprechaun? That's not. I mean, I believe you. Don't get me wrong, but who's like, oh, there goes that leprechaun. Hey, man, I just wish I was taller.
Yeah, and then they like you turn into it. Then they makes you like 30 feet tall, and the blood can't get to your brain, and you die.
See, that seems insane to me.
Yeah,
it seems more demonic. Maybe it's like
they're assholes. They're tricksters.
Dijin kind of layover and stuff.
It's similar. I mean, it's like I think like tricks like wish granting. I think as long as we have had wish granting magical creatures, we have had the ironic twist.
Well, yeah,
because otherwise there's not really a story,
right?
It's like he wished for a golden house and it kicked ass that he got that.
I think
his life was great.
I think there are stories like that. They just don't persist.
Yeah, because they suck.
I listen to this podcast called Myths and Legends podcast, and it's not all of them, but some of the stories are like, this is like a bad story. Like there's no the moral of the story is like not to be poor.
Yeah,
in a society with royalty and stuff like that. It's like, I guess you should have thought before you existed when the king walked by.
Yeah, that's always the shit. Winston Roundtree, who was like one of my favorite cartoonists, did a series of comics that were like actual or like useful or helpful myths. And one of them was like, oh, the goose that laid the golden egg, and then immediately the king is like, bring me that goose. And then that's how it actually went. And the moral was like, it was something to the effect of like, it's not actually useful to consider how you would responsibly spend random sources of enormous wealth when that's very unlikely to actually happen to you.
Right. There's a lot of folklore that should just stay gone, huh?
Yeah. Anyway,
or at least only explored through the magic of Dungeons and Dragons.
But how do we keep the lights on?
Oh, wait. By ending the segment we were doing called Loot Table and Brute Fable.
That was Loot Table or Brute Fable.
On the Discord, we actually have two bots that can roll a dice and pick a tarot card. So if you want to play Loot Table or Brute Fable, you can on our Discord page.
Yeah. But don't screw it up or you'll get kicked out. No.
Yeah, we will. No, I'm telling you now.
Oh, we should give a shout out to our great mod, Turbles.
Oh, yeah. Thanks so much to Turbles, who has really done a great job making this place good.
She's such a gem.
She's
a
gem.
Real sweetheart.
She's shaped like a friend. That's what I've heard.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Oh, well, good to know.
Not my original thought, just what I've heard. We need to take a quick break.
Yeah, because I want some water.
Does life ever get you down?
God does it.
Oh, yeah, me too. Are you ever just bored or sometimes tired or just, stressed?
I tell you, God gave me a brain that could keep 10 men busy. And if there were only some way to deal with this unstoppable, perfect mind of mine.
Well, I got a way right here in my hands. Both of my hands. You see this hammer?
I do.
And this ice pick?
What's that?
Dr. Craig's lobotomy kit.
Oh, wow. Is that Dr. Craig from
Jail, yeah.
from jail? Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Craig.
That's where they keep him.
Right.
That's where he belongs.
He invented he's the inventor of the arcane lobotomy kit. Has come manual. It's now a non-magical, mundane lobotomy kit that even non-magical users or rogues without skill ranks can activate.
You're talking about a home lobotomy kit that I can do to myself.
Check it out. Here's Dr. Craig's patented brain chart. You see this? That's where you poke when you're sad. You see this? That's where you poke when you don't like having a memory. Tink, crack.
Oh, everything is...
That crack means you know it's fresh.
Everything just feels so good.
Crack.
What were we...
Dr. Craig's lobotomy kit. Use the promo code BRAIN at checkout and get 1 free sharpener.
What tastes like my childhood?
That's just the taste of Dr. Craig and his wonderful products.
It tastes like a wet egg.
The wet egg of happiness and satisfaction at a job well done for a product we love.
I hope bees use what used to be my mind.
Bees love it, and wasps want to be it. Dr. Craig's lobotomy kit in a theater near you.
They're doing it at the theater?
Yeah.
That's the most horrifying part of this whole thing.
Have you seen one of those like bathroom attendants in a nice theater and it's got all the candies?
Oh, yeah.
They sometimes have like haircut kits and lobotomy kits.
You're going to some really fancy bathrooms. By the way,
it's rare.
I finally drove past. This is the long callback. I was in a car that went past Fogo de Chao.
Mm-hmm.
This is a callback to our first episode.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was downtown, fancy man.
There's one downtown. There's one in Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Oh, that's even more fancy, man.
I know. And now back to our show. Or wait, no, let's just say that was back to our show.
Well, I sure did enjoy that suite of products.
Either way, I did too. If you want to support us, just give yourself a lobotomy.
Yeah. You know what? You don't even have to use the kit. Just...
Oh, yeah, you know what?
Start a new life in your mind.
I was going to say, like, order one and have it sent to your enemy, but that actually sounds really dangerous. I wouldn't want to give anything like that to an enemy.
No, you don't want to give them the, like, sweet release of a dead mind.
Yeah, so put the shipping address, like, in the ocean. Just have it sent to the ocean.
Send these dangerous products straight to hell.
That's fine. You know, as long as it's our bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we doing, huh?
I think you had a question
podcast?
for us.
Did I?
Yeah, it's time to establish our bona fides.
Is it? Wasn't it already time to establish our bona fides?
I think after that commercial, we need to reestablish them.
I don't know. How many times can you establish these?
It's like, it's like painting the ocean. You can't stop ever.
Right. I mean, you could barely start. Gid_Aroni asks,
"Ooh,
I've been DMing
the San Francisco treat."
Gid Aroni. Yeah, man. I used to whatever.
No. Follow that.
There's that movie.
Chase that tiger cub.
What was that movie? Eye of the Navigator. Something of the Navigator.
Wait, Flight of the Navigator.
Flight of the Navigator. They talk about Rice Aroni being the San Francisco treat.
Yeah,
and I thought it was a different movie. Anyway, that was the whole story. I'm glad I told it.
I got Flight of the Navigator confused with Rise of the Guardians.
I get it confused with other things too, or Close Encounter, or I don't know, Close Encounters. I think sometimes I get it mixed up. This is not speech. This is not human speech. This has never happened to me yet as a new DM. But what do you do if you massively fuck up as a DM? Example: you didn't realize a massive plot hole in your story. The party kills a really important NPC. Is it okay to break the fourth wall in this instance? Can you share some of your experiences? Thanks.
Oh, no, it's fine because this is a world where magic exists.
Right. A wizard did it.
Yeah.
A god did it.
There's 4 or 5 different ways for players to bring somebody back.
Resurrection. Yeah.
And like that doesn't even, once you start getting in gods, there's doppelgangers. You know
Right.
how nobody ever really dies in a Marvel comic and stays dead except for Uncle Ben.
That's because of Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, like, there's so many ways to kill. I mean, like, Jesus, Infinity War killed. If anybody fucked up, they did. They killed half the cast.
Yeah.
You think they're not bringing back Spider-Man? They got 5 different Spider-Man things coming out this week.
That's the trick, is that they're going to get rid of all the like talent that's not being nice or something.
What?
All the Guardians of the Galaxy are never coming back.
No! Only, well, yeah,
That's
fine.
true. I mean, that's a guess, but that's true.
And it's not going to be a lot of people in that movie then,
Yeah.
starring all of them.
No one's going to be in that movie. What if there's just no one's in the movie?
They all refuse, but Disney still shot the movie. And
That would be amazing.
they just bring a camera to sets and they like shoot back and forth.
Yeah, the cameras keep swinging around just at nothing. I would love to see that.
That actually sounds incredible.
Or if like someone was good enough at like CG that they just edited people out of a movie but kept all the shots the same.
Well, like, aren't half the characters in Guardians of the Galaxy CG anyway?
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, do they actually need Vin Diesel to come back?
No, they have all his lines.
Yeah.
They just can replay them. So maybe it'll be just like Groot of the Galaxy. But what? Let's answer the question. What was so?
You know that's what happened in Back to the Future 2?
What?
Have you ever seen the Back to the Future films?
What's? Yeah, but I don't understand your line of questioning.
Crispin Glover did not want to be in Back to the Future 2,
Mm-hmm.
but they used a lot of footage from Back to the Future
Right.
1. Like, they had Marty, like, looking through binoculars, and then they just, like, put a black circle around Crispin Glover dancing from Back to the Future 1 and made it seem like Crispin Glover was still in the movie.
Oh,
And so he sued.
right.
He's like, I didn't want to be in this horseshit movie.
Yeah, of course. I didn't want to be in it either.
Yeah, that's
Look
also
at me
why
now.
his back was out and he was wearing weird makeup in the super future.
What a weird. I don't think I saw the second one. I definitely saw the first one and the third one.
Well, you
And
know
I think
what?
the
Those are
second
the
one is
best
good.
ones.
I heard the second one's the best one.
I strongly disagree. It's like fan fiction of the first one.
Let us know what you think about the franchise. Hashtag Back to the Future.
You know, it has a good second act, but things get really bad in I don't like the third act, which is just a return to the climax of the first movie, but like
Right.
inside scoop, more stuff.
Yeah. I like that as a premise, but it seems hard to execute. But who knows? Also, it's just,
We should probably help this person.
I would love to. Actually,
What was the
no,
question?
let's just go on to the next question. Go fuck yourself.
What's the who's the we have to help-
Gillaroni.
What was the question?
Or Gibberoni? Gibberoni. It was, what do you do if you really fuck up as a DM?
Oh,
So we said magic can, but magic is undoing it. So if you do something that, like, so for instance, if the NPC dies, you can bring him back with the magic, but also just failure is something that can exist.
Yeah.
If an NPC dies, excuse me, I'm burping. If an NPC dies, a lot of people, I was kind of burping, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know what to do, but just send in a new NPC with the same
also,
basic
did that
mission.
First one keep a journal?
You know he did.
They did now.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, you
And the
accidentally...
journal, it could
So-
talk to you.
Yeah. Oh, they could have kept a talking journal.
But I mean, even just like, it could essentially, all of the writing can essentially just be the journal talking to someone for the purposes of it,
Yeah, yeah. it's
You're like,
basically-
oh, did he say anything about his schedule tomorrow? Oh, yeah, his schedule tomorrow is right here. It's like,
Yeah.
it's essentially an NPC, but it's a book.
problem solved. It could also, they could be haunted by the ghost of the person they killed, because that's a thing.
Yep.
Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Let's say you accidentally kill a king. Well, that king probably had a chancellor,
Yeah.
or an advisor, or a prince, or a son who is returning from exile now that his father's dead.
Right. So that's undoing it. Then rolling with it.
I don't
is
even think that's
another thing.
I think those were rolling with it more than.
Well, no,
undoing.
I just mean like that's salvaging.
Oh yeah, that's like, well, I'm still having a royal character tell
Right.
them what to do.
Yeah, that's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Whereas you can also, if the king dies, now you just think of the logical, it's a completely different thing than what you had planned, but it's like, yeah, now the king's dead, now the whole country's in disarray. That could be interesting. Let's do
Yeah.
that now. So, you could just roll with it and use the new direction that you never expected as inspiration.
This is just more
That's
and
what I
more
do.
reason not to write 7 or 8 sessions in advance.
Right. So maybe that's one of the best functional pieces of advice we can get, is that nothing is really, really messing up when you don't have a master plan to fall apart.
Yeah.
Which is good advice. You really don't want, because I think we talked about it with you. We want to kind of stick to the immediate surroundings of your players, but you don't want to plan too far ahead just because it does kind of bog things down. And also it means you're spending a lot of your time focusing on things that aren't the immediate experience that's happening. And so you're not going to focus on that.
And may never be seen.
Right. It will often never be seen.
Yeah.
So, but then like, what if something really is bad? Like, I don't know. You
deal with this all the time.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm writing for Harmon Quest right now, and there's like a situation where they kind of have to like escape, but like what if they're like they don't try to escape or they try to escape a different way or something, and then it's like now they're functionally trapped, and then there's just like a giant army that's bearing down on them, and so it's like how are they going to get out of this? And so like what if you find yourself in that scenario? Like because that's something I guess you introduce Deus Ex Machina, right? Have someone come from without and save them. That's kind of
next week's celebrity guest.
Yeah, it's a cheap writing trick, but D&D isn't necessarily highly polished literary writing.
Yeah,
it's a fun experience.
Again, this is the mistake of trying to base what you want to do. Maybe I'm projecting when I think that's where a lot.
Cohen's
of people,
always projecting.
It's true. Call me old-timey movie theater because I love to project.
Call him 40 mil.
That's way better than what I said. Thank you.
Is 40 mil a projector or is it 70
It
mil?
sounds like I'm rich.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good. It works on like 4 different levels. But the thing is like, don't look at it from like, here Harry Potter's 7 years at Hogwarts. Think about it chapter to chapter. Mm-hmm. And just like Harry Potter, it doesn't actually have to make any fucking sense. And at the end, it can be like, these were the things that were important all along.
Right. That's another thing. I always miss this, but like in the official material, the way they frame adventures is often like, you've been going for days and you dealt with this guy and he was a weird guy and you were like, wasn't he a weird guy? I better go check on his daughter. And that's why you're in this dungeon and now you're in a dungeon. And then it's just like, you're already in the shit and it kind of just front loads like as kind of exposition, all the stuff. And then you're just, that seems completely disconnected from anything we were talking about now.
No, I get what you're saying.
But that means that you could just kind of cut and then cut back to them being in another situation without really explaining it fully.
Yeah. Because just like life, and they'll roll with what's going on. You don't always have to have a master mega narrative.
And if they don't, no dice.
No dice. I love this. I enjoy it. It's the terrible fucking catchphrase.
Yeah, I love all the worst things about this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like is how bad pieces of it are.
Yeah, but
like the ones I do.
But when you sew them all together, then you've sewn together pieces of a puzzle.
It's like a
not
quilt.
How that works.
It's like if a quilt made of puzzle pieces.
Oh my god, that would do gangbusters on Etsy in 2009.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
You could get a Dorkly article about it.
If Back to the Future 2 were made today, they would go back in time with a list of all the...
What's your dream casting?
Oh, I don't know. They would go back in time with all the most popular Etsy items.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, here's fish with an S.
A little dice jail.
Yeah.
A little dice tower.
They'll make a killing. It's a bad idea. This podcast is bad.
What was that? What are those nerdy ass T-shirts from like everybody got in 2006 or whatever?
I do my own stunts.
No.
Oh, like
Threadless.
Rotten Tees?
Threadless.
Oh, Threadless.
Is Threadless still around?
Yeah, Threadless is still around.
Shout out to Threadless. Send me some T-shirts.
This show's brought to you by Threadless.com. Use the promo code Master Manual for 10% off at checkout.
It won't work, but you're free to try.
You'll get 10% off.
Will you? Have you been doing a dirty deal on the side?
No, it's just not off the price. It's off
Come on, bring it in for a landing. What's
the
it off?
amount of time it would normally take to go through the checkout process on other less optimized checkout platforms.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think it does, though, right? I mean,
tip us on Patreon.
Don't be afraid to mess up because it's hard to know how to fix your mess up. But once you mess up, you'll start to think of ways to salvage it. Your mind will automatically start to work, and you'll come up with some.
It's like the broken shark from Jaws.
It's like the broken shark from Jaws.
Yeah, if the shark had worked, that shark would have been all over that damn movie, and it would have been a worse movie. But they used the broken shark to create the feeling of suspense because they couldn't actually show the shark very much.
Yeah, man. That's true. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean,
always think about the broken shark as as that is like problems drive. This is something in video games a lot.
Right.
It's like a thing doesn't work, and it's like, okay.
Why not make that the thing?
Yeah.
Right. Restrictions breed creativity, right?
There it is.
But yeah, definitely. I think that's true. I find in Harmontown in the early days, a lot of times they would like really fuck up my shit, and then I would be so mad, and then like I would think about like ways to fix it, and then I'd have way better ideas, and I'd be like, "This is great," and that's just maybe that's more of a mindset thing.
I think it gets. I think I'm rolling up. How droll.
No dice.
No dice. I think I'm coming up on the end of the first
campaign.
Yeah, the first campaign, and it's been all over the place, but it's been really interesting. I feel like to watch you grow as a dungeon master, and like the degree to which like early on you did get more frustrated and things.
Sure.
You would basically do things like lock them in a fish. Like, you're in a fish now, in a fish for a while.
Yeah.
You have to deal with this, but then like
it goes in two directions.
Yeah. But now
you're on a railroad.
Yeah. You can jump off of a railroad. You can't jump off of the inside of a fish.
Oh, you can. You just fall on the ground of the fish. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've shrank in a lot of ways, but whatever. Let's not worry about it.
Maybe you twisted.
So you wanna crack into our final segment?
Oh, I do.
Amlimals.
Amlimals.
#AML IMALS. It's the segment where we chop and screw.
Yeah, we twist it, flip it,
deep fry those memes, and serve it back on a plate of goodness.
All right, we need a monster. What we do is we take a monster, typically a classic Dungeons and Dragons monster, but not always.
Yeah.
And we find a way to make we twist them to make them a little more interesting, to show you how you can throw a fresh coat of paint and a new pair of shoes on that goblin, and all of a sudden you got a dying goblin.
Yeah. Do you want to do goblins? What about dying goblins?
Dying goblins?
Instead of goblins, they could be dying.
Isn't that what they typically do?
Nope. Most goblins live.
Until they don't.
So typically in D&D, goblins live. No, what should we do?
You know what? Gelatinous cubes.
Gelatinous cubes.
Let's end strong.
All right. In D&D, gelatinous cubes are a monster type of ooze, which is just a very fantasy monster type because oozes don't really exist. Technically, slime molds exist, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay, what it comes from classic D&D, like very, very early. It's a classic Gary Gagax monster. It comes from the idea that in very old school D&D, all rooms were in like in hallways
10 by 10.
Were 10 by 10 cubes. And it's a monster that is a 10 by 10 transparent cube,
right?
That you just walk directly into
because it's in a dark dungeon.
Yeah, and then it's just it is evolved in this to suit the dungeon, so it eats you by you just walk into it, and it like oozes over you and eats you.
Yeah. Or it just stays still and you just step right into it.
That's what I was saying. You walk into it and then it like just eases over.
I'm not cutting that.
Too much soda.
We gotta not eat so much soda.
I got to pat you on the back like a baby.
No. I can burp myself.
Okay.
Right into the microphone.
We're not going to get another good Podmas write-up if you keep this horse shenanigans on.
No, that was for sure gonna never happen anyway.
We'll see.
Nope. But so they attack with their pseudopods, attempt to engulf you, and attempt to dissolve you within their acidic body, not unlike a Venus flytrap.
It basically looks like a huge ice cube made out of slime.
It vaguely resembles a gelatinous cube.
Yeah, like a big jello that fills an entire hallway and sucks you in.
Yeah, like a cube that's gelatinous.
Yeah. Okay, so what is it how do we chop and screw this bad boy?
So I would say the main two components of a gelatinous cube
Okay.
are A, the shape, and B, the consistency.
Okay.
Also, they're acidic, so that's kind of an element, like an energy type, so we can mess with that.
Ooh, okay. What if instead of dissolving you,
It adds to you. No, okay. Sorry, you go.
Well, actually, that's even better. I was gonna say,
You do yours.
Okay, what if it's not consuming you this way, it's reproducing.
Mm-hmm.
What if it swallows you, spits you out the back end, but now you have a gelatinous cube egg inside you?
Ew.
Right?
That's gross.
And you go and you poop somewhere else in the dungeon, and in your poop, you just poop out the cube. And then it grows. This is how it disperses its seeds.
Right. What if you throw it up?
That's even better.
You just throw up like this big translucent fucking log.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, like you throw it up like it comes out of you like
yeah.
Not fast even.
No, it's very horrifying and terrible.
Like somebody trying to force their hand through a too small tube sock.
Yeah, and you have to you have to take a constitution, like a suffocation check.
I need you to
it's
appreciate
so slow.
my evocative imagery.
Well, what was the words?
It's like somebody trying to force their hand through a too small tube sock.
Is it like that?
Yeah. It's very much.
I think it's like, is there something like cranberry relish or jelly that's like in a plastic containment? I feel like sometimes you'll squeeze like a more plasticky can and try to be getting like some jelly shit out of it, and then it's all in like cat food. Maybe it's like wet cat food.
It could be like cat food. It could be like tomato paste.
Yeah, like tomato. That's what I was thinking.
Tomato
about.
paste. When you do you do that trick where you cut both ends?
No. That's how you do it. That sounds smart.
Yeah, my mom taught me that trick. You use the can opener on one end, and you use it on the other end, and you just push it through. It feels like
and
then
trying
it just all comes out.
To push a tomato paste out of a can without using Cohen's patented technique.
It's true. It's a good technique. I use it in my chili. No, I don't. I use it in my spaghetti.
I use it in my adobo.
What is that?
I don't know. I was just trying to yes and.
You did it.
So.
But I wanted instead.
What else can it do? It lays an egg.
Well, it's definitely simple.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could like. What if the egg? What if after you threw it up, the cube followed you around? It was like a helpful pet.
That's cool, but I don't know if that seems very much like an animal thing. It just seems like a thing that happens, you know?
Yeah, I guess they're not always going to be like cool lore. I guess where do they come from?
Where do they come from? Well, they're oozes.
So did a wizard create these?
Oozes are typically,
to guard his
I
tower?
think, normal. Like, they come about, you know? Like, they're just like fungus, what's
that mean?
Ooze.
Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so is it? What if it gets?
Typically, at least.
What if it learns something? What if it learns like one fact from everything that it digests?
That was kind of like when we first were thinking of it. That was my first instinct. Is like maybe it doesn't even eat people, but it passes through and it learns. Like it either steals your skills or it learns stuff, and so like that's what it's eating is like your memories or something. And
oh shit, I've got it. So it does this, and it stores. If you look into one, it has like these like little weird like red, like almost like spots, red
motes.
spots on a fungus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it really starts to grow and it gets the white and then the red.
Yeah.
So like you would look inside it and see almost this like constellation of these
splotches.
And as it has enough of these, they'll start to group together, almost like planets forming in space, and they'll just form a person. Like it'll start to look like a capillary system and stuff made out of memories, and it gets layered on, and then eventually, as the cube moves through, like this would sink down in the cube, and the cube would just like slide and leave it on the floor, and it would be a person that just wakes up in a dungeon.
It would be
all
like
these like fucked up memories,
like an annihilation. It was an annihilation.
Yeah. It'd be like
it's like an annihilation clone. That's so
like,
cool.
It would just like leave this thing behind that's just made up of maybe like dozens of like maybe it could be like years of accumulation. That's just accretion is the word.
Accretion. Accretion shell.
Yeah.
Instead of like an accretion disc.
Yeah.
An accretion husk or an accretion form. Yeah, no, that's badass. Also, just in line with that is like if it goes.
I feel like this is more like an amlinol.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like because like I feel like what you described. No offense, but like any monster, I think that would be a cool kind of riff. Is that like it can kind of like parasitize and like link into it. Like I could see a dragon doing something like I don't know, but it's like that's more like a cool event. But this seems more like an ecology.
So sorry, go ahead. I came up with a name maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say that in terms of like, since it's like absorbing psychic energy or whatever, it could maybe cast spell-like abilities or absorb spell slots and spells from casters as it passes through. So like it gets a spell from a wizard, or it just has a couple residual spells. So it might shoot a lightning bolt to start a combat or use some crazy spells just to kind of make it not just a gelatinous cube, which is pretty
maybe it would try to cast like sleep.
Right.
Or like hold person. Like it would try to like hold on to those spells.
Or like it would be in a spot of darkness because it casts darkness to make itself more trappable.
Yeah, it would, and like as it more frequently digested wizards, it would prefer those spells. So like a really ancient one might be like, because it had like trial and error down to like really good hunting patterns. But it's still not killing. It's just like taking a few things.
Right. Yeah. It people don't like it at all, but it doesn't. It hasn't killed. Like it's maybe killed a couple people, but it's mostly just really fucked with a bunch of people.
The cool thing is like, as your player like comes out of it, maybe a player is like digestive of this thing and like spat out. It could spit out the other thing right behind them, and then the players would just think, "Oh, this is just another person,
right,
who was swallowed by this." But it would like maybe have some of the players' memories.
Yeah,
be like, "Oh, I'm in the order of the red shell, also."
Right. It might even seem like it's lying.
Yeah, and then it's like you could like do divination or whatever. And be like, "No, it's telling the truth."
Right.
Or it thinks it is. Anyway, the name I came up with is because these things would be naturally naive and they're sort of newborn and ignorant.
I have an idea.
I would call it a gelatinous Rube.
Oh, I was close. I thought you were going to say gelatinous noob.
That's good too.
No, yours is much, much better.
All right, a gelatinous Rube.
Gelatinous Rube. You can use in your campaign. Oh, also just the idea. I don't know. This is maybe too ominous or whatever, but I like the idea that the accretion husks or whatever, they don't know it, but they eventually like find themselves in another like dungeon kind of space.
Oh,
and then they just explode into another one.
They like sleep and kind of melt.
Yeah.
Maybe they like find a dark place. They like have this powerful instinct to like adventure, and then they like find a dark place, and then they just
take a nap.
They just get more and more tired and start to like. So this would be how it would spread.
Right.
Oh, that's so good.
Well, we did it.
Yeah, this went from being like, well, I was thinking like, well, I guess we won't have a great one this week, but this is maybe my favorite one yet. Yeah,
it's a pretty cool idea, and I also was like, there's just not a lot of knobs on a gelatinous cube. I think it's like just an ooze that can exist in a dungeon. Yeah. So I think we pulled something out. Yeah. You got any last minute? Okay, so yeah, you can use gelatinous rubes in your campaign if you want. Let us know if you do. Let us know how it goes. Well, you got any last minute?
Us?
Oh yeah, email us at mastermanualpod email us mastermanualpod@gmail.com.
We're on Twitter.
Instagram. We have a Facebook page, although I forgot to post the episode on the Facebook page.
Did you post the Discord link on the Facebook page?
No, but I posted it on the Instagram. I'm going to do some housekeeping before this episode comes out. we have a Discord link on the Instagram. Where else is the Instagram? Is it on Twitter?
It
the
is on
Discord
Twitter.
link.
Oh yeah. I've posted it a couple times.
Cohen posted it a couple times.
I
What else?
use the Twitter a lot.
Yeah, Harmon Quest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Harmon Quest is gonna be coming. By the time you listen to this, I may have seen it.
No,
I'll let you know if it's
not
good.
quite. Unless this comes out late.
Oh, okay.
I look at all the dates. I got all. This one's coming out, I think, November 9th or some shit.
Spencer and I split the duties. He edits
I look at the calendar.
and looks at the calendar and does a lot of the work. And usually I read the questions, but he did that this week. So I'm really in the hole on this one.
Right. I keep tight score of everything, and today is a poor showing from. No,
Yeah,
it's fine. It's all good. So what else? At the Sixler, at Skull Mandible, huh?
Yeah, that's us.
Check out Mega Man 11 in stores now.
It's really hard.
Use the promo code Master.
I cannot get into the demo. It's really hard.
Yeah. But that's life, huh?
Uh-huh. Well, looks like we booked him again.
Dice to see you.
No dice.